On this installment of Creative Cabin Fever, I travelled to meet my friend Michael, who's in Belfast. This time it's not about his other band, Paper Tigers, who we still love and will talk about, I'm sure, in the interview. But this time it's about his new exciting band, Virgins, who just released an incredible new single called Vows. I have this working theory that Joe Cardamon fans are in fact workaholics, and he is the only other Joe Cardamon fan that I know and is undoubtedly a workaholic. How are you, Michael?
I'm actually working right now, as we speak, unbeknownst to you. But yes, I'm very good.
So this new second band, Virgins, how did that come about?
So it was all very selfish. I'm gonna just get that out of the way. So I kind of just started this. So there's this band Slow Crush, right? And just got into them, and I just think they're amazing. There's this perfect mix of heaviness and floatiness, and like the girls' vocals are just like so ethereal. And I mean, when you hear Vows and then hear them, you can hear the influence. It's unashamed, and I'm not trying to hide it, so why not? But so I just listened to them a whole bunch and like got really into them, got their records, and it's like, this is really cool. And then obviously, because I write songs, like somebody had lent me a bass, and I went up and picked up the bass and just started playing this thing, and I was like, oh, it's not for Tigers, and like I play drums in this heavy band as well, but I also write songs for it, and I was like, it's not for it. And I was like, but it's really good, and then so modest as well. And so then it was like, oh well, there's another part, and then I was like, well, I can write guitar. So then I wrote this song just kind of like by accident, and then I was like, that's quite good. And then I was like, well, and then I had this other thing, and then I was like, well, that could work. So then I had two songs, and then I was like, well, so over lockdown as well, like I got really into recording, so I can demo everything now. Like I just demo songs. Like I got some funding from the Arts Council and was able to buy some drum mics. So I go up to the practice room, I lay down the drums, go and play the bass, and then play guitar, international sound for guitar. And then like I'll come home, and then like I'll just be like, oh well, I should put more 40 guitar tracks in this. So then it just kept adding. So then I had a couple of songs, and then another couple of songs, and I was like, well, this is pretty good, so I should maybe get someone to sing on it. Like, and I was 100% just gonna put it out like as the garage band kind of demos, because I was like, in my head I was like, this sounds amazing. And like they were okay, they were not bad. But so then I reached out to someone and was like, these songs, and I again just wanted like a female vocal. I just think it lends itself so well to it. Like it's just adds to the whole kind of mix. And like, I'm sure from Tigers and everything, and from speaking to you before, I've a predilection towards a female voice. And so then they came up and it didn't really work. And then I was like just on my phone one night, and my friend that we used to burn around whenever we were teenagers, she was out at somewhere drinking, and then we got talking, and then I was like, oh, you sing, and like I've these songs, and like here's this kind of deal. And she was like, sure, I'll give it a go, because like I like write all the words and melodies and everything as well. And so she came down to the house, I sent her it, and I was like, here's my demo of me guldering away into a microphone. It sounds awful. Like I feel so bad every time I send Brooke a demo, because it's me like going sounds terrible, and she has to make sense of it. But she came down and then just nailed it. I think we spent a long time that night like putting different layers, and like, because I think on the demo there's like 4 tracks, like 4 vocals, and then like added, so I mean you're like up to like 8 or 10 vocal tracks just to get the like I'm really into like My Bloody Valentine. Like if you're into Shoegaze, you're into My Bloody Valentine. And like I read that they had this whole separate board just for vocals, because he would just record and layer them, and different compression. And I mean, I'm not Kevin Shields, but I'm just like, I'm gonna steal your idea, man. Like, and of course, so then that's kind of, I mean, the abridged version of how it kind of started. So then like Brooke done that, and I was like, oh, that sounds really good. And let a few people hear it, and I was like, yeah, should maybe do it properly then. And then and then my friend, he plays in this band Winona Bleach, and they just got signed to Fierce Panda, their killer, and Johnny. So I reached out to him because I know he likes all that stuff, and I was like, look, man, I have this song, and and I sent him like I have 4 songs at that stage, sent him them all. And I was like, what do you like, what speaks to you? And he was like, this one. So went and done it, and went down one morning, and just I done the drums, and then the guitar, and then he was like, oh, you could do a better bass line than that, and he started playing something, and I was like I'm friendly with him and played with him before, but also I'm just like, I fucking love this dude's band, and now he's playing bass on this thing, and now they're signed, and now I probably should definitely pay him for it, but like, will not say anything. So then he was like, we could do this, and I was like, oh, well, you could also do this. And then he started playing it, and then he just played it. Like, I was like, this is badass. So then, because like the whole premise was like I would do it all with Brooke doing the thing, but I was like, I am not arguing. Like, I let this happen. Like, you have to let things happen, you know? So then, and then we just kind of put it together, and then used this like local guy. He mastered it, and then yeah, it was just such a like quick process. But it's like I say, it's a very selfish thing, because it purely came from me just being like, kind of want to do a shoegaze thing, and like I can just kind of do it myself, and then like, who cares, you know? Turns out like a bunch of people care about it, which is unreal. Like all the art, like I've done the art myself. I have no idea what I'm doing in Photoshop. I was like, just move things around and until it looks good. But yeah, so that's kind of where it all stemmed from. Yeah, pretty good. And now here we are having an interview about it.
I love it. It's so exciting. I was like, that story is brilliant. Like, yeah, so a selfish thing turned into like a beautiful collaborative thing, which wasn't meant to be a collaborative thing. It was meant to be like, you know, which I think is amazing.
And it's such a strain, like, because I'm such a control freak. Like, I mean, I am, but like it's been so weird. Like, things like that have just kind of happened. Like, and just not saying no to some things, just allowing that to come in a little bit. I think, I mean, and Johnny done some great stuff production wise. You know, the demo and it live sound like a different. They're both different beasts. Like, it's evolved even from one to the other to like how on recording, and so like he really kind of brought something to it, which is, you know, like in other projects I would be like, that you can't do that, like, because that's not what I think. But like it just made it so much better. It just kind of took it to this whole other place. So now like I have to keep going back to him.
I think it's great, and as I was saying to you off air, I like Paper Tigers and all, but I love Virgins. I love the sound. I love the voice. I love. And I cannot wait to hear the next tracks and see how much I love them.
It's like Sophie's Choice, you know, like it's very difficult. Like, let's just clarify that Paper Tigers are also, the songs are great. Let's just say that out loud. And they're very different. Like, I mean, this doesn't sound anything like this over here, you know, and like even there's like a lot of pedal stuff on Tigers, like it's sparingly, whereas here it's just everything's on all the time kind of thing. But yeah, I'm glad you love it. I love it too. Like, I mean, I do. Like, I it came out great. But yeah, they're different beasts, you know. They both like scratch a different itch for me. I'm very itchy, it would seem. I should probably see someone about that.
Again, Joe Cardamon fans are workaholics.
Yeah.
I also have a million projects going on. Creative cabin fever, you know, it's just one of those things I love to do from time to time now.
Yeah.
So it's great the way that happened. And obviously you're up in Belfast, for anyone who doesn't know you personally, unlike me. So Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
For anyone watching outside of Ireland who doesn't understand geography and the differences between those two things. You're in a different situation to me. For instance, you're allowed to have live music in a venue.
Yeah,
You
which we
did a
we
gig.
done. Yeah, we like so it was the first show I've played in a year and a half, because Tigers played right before lockdown, like the week before, and then after that was it gone. Like Tigers done a live stream, but it's not the same, like you're playing to a crew of cameramen and soundmen who like don't clap and don't react. They have a job to do. So like we played a show on Tuesday in the American Bar, so it's like it's down the docks in Belfast, so it's in Sailor Town, and it's like this small place upstairs, and the people who put it on is called Asphyxia, and like they normally do apartment shows, so like you go and play in an apartment, and it's just they plaster the walls and all this art, and it's just like it's like a house party show, and they look amazing. I haven't got to do one yet, but so they decorated the American Bar. It was all seating. Nothing was mic'd up except the vocals. Like you have people, like the stage is here and you have people right here, so it was sold out. Like our first show was sold out, and they put us on before even hearing like a note. So like, I mean, I can't thank them enough. But so like going in, you're kind of worried about like how the energy will translate back and forth with like a seated crowd, and but I mean the only other thing is like people really pay attention, so but and especially because it like there's a lot of energy live to the band, and it's not all kind of slow, and like I actually don't spend that much time looking at my shoes. They're not that nice. So but like so there is still back and forth, but it was still like, because I'm not like all the time, what's that going to be like? And but it was amazing. Like we were just kind of, and that was, like I say, that was our first show, and we'd only had one full band practice, so that we'd only had 3 run-throughs the set, and then we'd only had like a month, like 4 practices all in, and sometimes like the guitar player couldn't make it or the bassist couldn't make it, so we only had one thing, and it was just amazing. Like I know it's messed with me like I would not say that I have any kind of mental health issues, because like I don't, but like I know like it has an impact not getting to play, like it does, and I didn't realize how much until I got to do it again. Like I've hit a point where like I was kind of hitting like a creative block, and then I played and then went and played guitar the next day, and then all of a sudden like things started to sound a wee bit better again, and like my fingers started to go to better places again, and it was just like, and it's so weird. Like, why does getting up in front of like a room full of people and playing, like, why does that matter so much? And like, I'm probably overthinking about it. That's all. I've been thinking about that a lot since we got to do it. I don't have an answer. I don't, but it just means everything. Like it just like it means everything. Like all the recording and the photo shoots and the videos and like doing all that stuff is fun, but it means nothing. And it doesn't hold a candle to getting up in front of, seated or not. Like, and I mean, there could have been 2 people at that show, and I would have felt the same. It was amazing.
But it's your sole reason. Like, it's your sole reason to perform. It's you. It's your passion. It's why it's there. Just like my sole reason is to actually help other people shine. Therefore, I created a stage in the form of a podcast to still allow people to, But your soul, like this, so it's just, of course.
It was class. It was so good. I actually don't think I've ever, like I sweat a lot on stage, but I like the poor guy, he was sitting right here. I was like, I'm so sorry, man, and he's just like, it's fine. But like I think it was just amazing. So I can't wait to get to do it again. So we have another one in Portrush on the 24th, and that's with Virgins and Tigers. So I'm double duty in that night, and I'm putting on the show, so it's like triple duty. But I can't wait. Like it'll be great. It'll be great. Yeah. So things are getting back to normal.
Yeah, whereas where I am, there is apparently a roadmap on the way. Leo Varadkar, one of our, political leaders, was just pictured at a festival over in the UK, England, there this weekend, when, he's part of one of the main reasons, in fact, that Music is currently illegal in Ireland, and I have been stuck with the rest of the Irish music industry in a kind of like Patrick Swayze double bill. I can't decide. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like Roadhouse 1 second, and I'm a bouncer trying to fight for the rights of dancers, and the next second it's Dirty Dancing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like those two things. It's illegal to dance, music's illegal, and it's this constant Groundhog Day of those two things. And your man is off there in a field, just having the time of his life in shorts when he's made it illegal here, like.
Yeah, maybe like he went off map and like he just got lost. Maybe he's checking out Boris's map. That's not a euphemism. Maybe it is. You know, it's fucking disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, but hopefully like things start to open up for you. Is done. I mean, it's going the right way anyway. Like baby steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I have been very lucky in this moment in time, but I know that a lot of people down here, like, as you said, we don't start off with mental health problems, but after like 19 months of your sole reason being taken away from you, it can get very difficult to keep going.
Yeah, it does. And the only reason I said that is because I wouldn't want to put myself, like, I wouldn't want to make light of other people who suffer. Not but I would say like there was definite like an effect, you know, and that, so as soon as like we could, then I just started booking shows. It's like, I'm gonna go do this a lot now because I haven't been able to do it at all, and like I used to do it a lot before, and so I'm just gonna keep going. But it's
on a double bill now, where I have two amazing bands, Rebecca, so I'm gonna play double all the time, everywhere in the world.
The idea is like, once the other band that I play drums in gets up and going, then I can just put on shows for all my bands. Just like, don't need to like share gear because I'll just bring all my stuff. Yeah.
Full backline provided by Michael Smyth.
Also, I get paid 3 times over then, so.
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is how Michael Smyth plans to take over the world.
Yeah, totally.
No, I love it, and I'm really happy that you guys have it easier than we do. I just really wanted to mention the differences between both countries, because like in a few years' time, someone will watch this interview back and have no idea what this moment in time was like for any of us, and these time capsules will just remind people of just how utterly insane the world was for a while. Yeah,
it was crazy. I'm glad, and for a number of reasons, that things are opening up. Like, obviously it's a balance because they're still dangerous, like in certain places, and like, I mean, who really knows how the whole thing's going to pan out? Like we were talking before, like it could all just revert back, and you know, but we'll see. Fingers crossed, and let's be optimistic about it, and hopefully things are going the right way anyway.
Absolutely, and I have an incredible ability to turn everything into a silver lining. It's kind of my default, do you know?
Yeah.
And a lot of very positive things have come from this moment in time, like a lot.
Yeah.
And it's been amazing for so many people.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not been easy. Like all the benefits, they come with heavy lessons too. Do you know?
Yeah. We'll come out the other side wiser, hopefully.
Yes, and I'll definitely come see you at a show.
Oh yeah, as soon as I can get down there, I will.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll go see all 3 bands, Michael, unless they're on the same night, in which case.
See, that even makes touring a whole bunch easier. Like, I can just take everything on the road. You know, like that makes sense to me.
Do you know, logistically, I can't fault your logic. Like,
no, but doing 3 sets a night. Sure, like the Beatles used to do like matinees and all, and you know, like Johnny Cash, how many sets a night did he do?
Yeah.
He was on a lot of speed though, so that's not a road that I care to go down.
No.
Yeah, it's fine. But one way or another, we'll get down there and play shows.
Yeah, workaholism should be our only addiction, I think.
That it's plenty. To be honest, I wouldn't have time for anything else.
No.
Yeah. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Matinees, though, that's something I haven't thought about. Like, would people still be interested in going to like daytime shows. Like,
Do you know what I want to do? Is all ages shows. Bring
that
the all
is
ages
also
shows
what I
back,
want to do. Yeah.
because like there used to be a place up here. It was called Warzone slash Jarrows. I actually think we maybe talked about it a little last time, but it's like this. It used to be this punk collective place, and it was ran by like not just like Mohawk punks or like it was like people who believed in this kind of sense of community. It was a community thing, much along the lines of kind of what you're doing. And so they used to have this space, and there was a cafe with a library, and they used to make like vegan food, vegetarian. This is like I was like 16, so this is 20 years ago. But so it was a long time ago. But it just seemed they were all doing it for all the right reasons, and like their heart was in the right place. And but they used to have all ages shows. Like every show was essentially an all ages show, and like you could bring your own, and they would monitor. It didn't always go well, but like all ages shows, I just think it brought a wider people to the music, you know, where like here you can't do it, because if you put on an all ages show and ask your friends to go, they're like, well, I want to drink. And it's like, well, you can't, because it's a, you know, it's at 3 on a Saturday, and also there's like 7-year-olds here. But I just think it would be great, like to have that kind of, and there's nowhere we'd really allow you to do it up here. There's like one place, but then like, how do you, like, I don't know. We talked about this whenever we started doing shows again. I was like, I don't know if there's 16-year-olds like us, because I don't know any 16-year-olds. So like, how do you branch into that? And then, you know, so I don't know. And
without seeming like a predator, right?
Yeah.
So how do I recruit loads of 16-year-old girls to come to gigs?
Like, there's always like a place in town where skaters or like goth kids or whatever, and like you don't want to be like the old dude shimmying up being like, do you want to come to my show? You know, it's like that gets you in, that's nothing but trouble. But that's what I keep thinking about, like, how do you do it that reaches people in a way
I have a few ideas, and they're very similar to on the line of what you're talking about, right? So like I have a few plans that I'm hoping to be able to put into effect, and I'll talk to you about them off camera, right? But one of the things that made me go, okay, I'm on the right track, is I was watching a podcast. I don't know if you watch it, or listen to it. You probably should. The Irish Music Industry podcast with Mark Graham.
Yeah.
Did you listen to the Fugazi one?
No.
So he did one, like, it's one of, in this season that just gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was interviewing him, you know, about the evens and the odds and Fugazi, and obviously massive fan. And I was listening to it, and he just kept saying these like really, really things. So all the gigs they do, like, they're alcohol free. Mm-hmm. They would turn down megabucks in order to make sure that they had all age gigs. The importance of inspiring youths. Like, when we were younger, we could go to all age gigs, which is probably why we're so into music. We had a place to go, so we didn't get in as much trouble. We were able to create and be, and so, like, I was thinking the same as you. I was like, oh, you know, there's no kids now that are into it. I was like, well, how can they be? They don't have the space to be.
Yeah.
And then I met a local band here. They're called the Black Roses. They are a metal cover band, and they're all under 15.
Yeah.
And they have more drive and passion. They just busk in the streets. Like,
even at that, like the first show I played, I was like 14. My mum and dad put it on in that place, and like all the time there was always underage, like less under 18 bands playing, and then you would maybe have like a young band and then like some other class bands, and it was like, I'm a huge Fugazi fan as well, and like they always talk about you know, the importance of all ages shows, and they would maybe do like an all ages show in the afternoon, and they would play like another show, and like how much it all meant to them. And then sure, whenever they started, what was their band called? Idle Hands. I can't fucking, it was something like that. Anyway, that's I'm not blanking on what it is, but it was pre-Minor Threat. It was so like, and they were all super young. But it's, and like all that kind of stuff still feeds into like all the things that I do today. It's like that DIY approach. And like, so if you want it, like, you go get it, like you find a way to make it happen. And like I think that's the next kind of thing that I want to do is try to put on all ages shows.
I think
And
it's
like
amazing.
the first couple like might bomb until like you figure out what the crowd is and how you reach people and all. And but I mean, like kids still like they're bound to still play, you know, and they're bound to still like that kind of
Okay,
stuff and want to do it, you
of
know.
course. Well, think about it this way, right? Okay, I was going to tell you off air, but everyone in the world may as well know how I believe we can make this happen, right? First thing you do is find a music school.
Yeah, there's I think there's two up here, and
Okay.
there's like a girls rock one, and then like a an offshoot of that. But yeah, you're right actually. Yeah,
So the first thing you do is find a music school. Then find a venue or a hall that's community based, okay?
yeah,
You contact that music school and you see who are the rising stars in your thing, okay? And you're like, do they have any bands together? If they don't have bands yet, can we do some sort of band camp where we get them to meet
yeah,
and create musical bands? And then you just run nights that way because you're creating a community using children, giving them hope and teaching them about music again. That music school is going to be delighted that they're getting extra press, extra promotion, and that people are actually contacting the people that they, are working really hard to train, like grow
yeah,
and mold. And those young people are then going to have a space that's going to take them off the street, so they're most likely going to feel connection and a
yeah.
reason to not be doing drugs or drinking at an early age. So you're actually creating a community, raising hope and helping people, and you're doing it through the thing that you love, passionately driven music.
That's really good. That's really good.
Next
Yeah,
to
so
politics.
I have to go because I'm gonna go do that now. Like send an email.
I think everyone
Yeah,
should be
that's
doing.
class. Yeah, 100%. That's great. I'm totally gonna rip that off and go do it.
And I've decided that by doing it in the interview, hopefully lots of other people are
Yeah,
inspired in
yeah,
towns all over the country to do that, because like
yeah,
children are our future.
yeah. Like because I am not connected to a 14 to 18-year-old age group. You know, like I'm 36. Like I don't know what they're doing, what the f they're doing.
Yeah, we're
But
the same age, man. Like I don't
yeah,
either,
yeah. But like you say, that it's how you reach out and connect and bring them in. And like because I that's how I found out about a load of bands and Discord bands as well used to come over and play. Like Blue Tip played Jarrows, and I mean, like they're amazing. And like that's how I found out like there's all this. I mean, whenever I started going, I was listening to like Korn and Slipknot and Machine Head, and then all of a sudden you're opened up to this like whole other world, and it's like, well, actually, there's all these class bands, and they're either coming up from Dublin, or like they'll come over from America or Europe, or so many of them are on your doorstep. And like there was this band from Belfast called Los Cabras, and like they were my favorite band. Like they were like a local band, and I ended up playing drums for them and like being in bands with like a bunch of different people from it over the years. But like at the time I was like Los Cabras, like they're the dudes. Like that, like they played Witness one time, but like they were killer. And it was just like, but without that opportunity to go see bands at that age, like I wouldn't have known about that. But like all that stuff like definitely shaped me. And then, you know, like I made friends with them, and then like, what do you guys listen to? And then I went and listened to it, and then it just spirals. Like that's the idea, right? Like that's the point, you know?
And if we have no way to inspire children, how are we going to inspire the future of music? Like
Yeah,
when I'm in my 70s, I don't want to be listening to new music going, where did it all go wrong? I want to
yeah,
be looking at it going, wow, this is how we actually paved the way for young people to feel energized, connected, and actually create these incredible tracks that are now there.
yeah.
So it's our duty, actually. And we're
I don't.
completely responsible to actually
No
energizing.
pressure there, Rebecca. Like,
Nah,
Jesus.
you're the Belfast me, right? With your old crow promotions and your million, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll
All
do what I
age
can.
gigs, inspire the children, change the
Yeah,
world.
yeah. Come get them to listen to some shoegaze. Be
Yeah,
like, what's this? Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Like, see, whenever I do talk about the band and I'm like, we're a shoegaze band, people are like, what's that? Like they don't know, which is weird. And because I just assume that everyone knows. And like when we done that show the other night, I was like, I said to the sound man, I was like, we're a shoegaze band, so you know, just a lot of reverb. And he goes like, I am either too old or not old enough to know what that means. And I was like, just turn the reverb up all the way. And he's like, okay, fine. And but yeah, I just people don't know. And then like I try to explain to them, and then I'm like, we're shoegaze, and I'm like, well, that means like it could be 25 different things. Same way like punk is like this huge broad spectrum, like so is shoegaze stuff. Like so I'm kind of like I don't know how to bring people on board. Like I have to explain it to them that don't know. And then like it's interesting when I let people hear it, they have a different reference. Like because I know what I was going for, and then they will have different reference points that are way outside of that.
Yeah.
Like I let my brother hear it, and he was like, "Oh, it sounds like Mazzy Star," because that's his.
That's what I got.
Yeah, but like that's his reference point, and then like we got a bunch of
And then I
press
got
and
air
reviews.
as well.
Yeah, well, I like those that too, and then a load of press was like, "Oh, it's Cockatoo Twins," and then like, "Oh, it's Smashing Pumpkins," and it's like I didn't listen to Cockatoo. I don't know.
Cocteau Twins.
Yeah, I didn't listen to those guys until after that was out, so it's weird. Like I didn't know, like, because I'm still getting into like, because there's so much. Like I don't know, and then I went and listened to like Heaven or Las Vegas, and was like, I get it. I can see why people think that, and I think that's amazing because this record is phenomenal, and like even like Slow Dive and stuff. Like I just started getting into those guys, and it's just that's 100. That's a perfect example of how like even those two bands are worlds away to like from like Slow Crush or like My Bloody Valentine or like this band Nothing as well. Like it's worlds away from it, but yeah, I think everybody should listen to some shoegaze. Like it's
Everyone
nice.
should listen to Vows by Virgins.
That's what I mean.
That is
Exactly.
exactly what
That's
needs to
it.
happen. Like anyone who's watched this interview, my good friend Michael, you need to go and put that song on. Like it's that song that's down there in the little box with the vows, the
Yeah.
virgin, the beautiful artwork as well. Like that's pretty good. I also bought a T-shirt off them, Anna, as is my addiction. Yeah.
It's coming. It's on its way.
Yes, but it's also really, really beautiful. So you should probably consider buying one too,
It's
guys.
very cheap too.
Yeah.
And but like the sketch in that, and my friend Donald, he lives in Glasgow, and like I try to use like local independent people as much as I can for anything that I do. But so I had this idea and I tried to do it myself like a bunch and was like, I cannot do this. This just looks like a primary school child trying to design a t-shirt as part of I was like
God.
this. I was like, no one's buying this. So I sent him, he's called Oshin. It's Oshin backwards on Instagram, but he's great illustrator. And so I sent him and he done like two things and I was like, that's perfect. It's great. But it's like it's the girls from Virgin Suicides,
I know,
the
and that's probably
sisters.
why I associate air with it. Like,
Yeah.
so do you know what it is? Like, because I saw that and I was like, oh my god, that's so cool because that's obviously inspired by the
It's
Virgin
just like a wee
Suicides. Yeah.
it's a wee nod. Like if you know, you know, and if you don't, oh well.
I loved that and I had to have it and I'm so happy I own it. And it's going to
I
be here soon and I'm going to put it all over my
Yeah,
socials.
I put it like the quote, which it is a great quote from the film about how like the girls already understood like life and death and like what colors went together, and the job of the boys was only to create the noise that fascinated them. And I remember watching that film for the first time, like being blown away. And actually, that's where the name comes from and everything as well, because the film, without spoilers, but if you haven't seen it, then what are you doing with your life? But
Like
like
it's
because
been
it's
about 15 years. If you haven't
yeah,
seen it yet, there's
come
something wrong
on.
with you. Like, so spoil away.
Yeah, so because the subject matter is so heavy, but it's presented like Sophia Coppola does that great like just dreaminess to it. It's like it's a shoegaze film essentially. It has those all those elements. So I was like, that's like this film like is that thing. Just it's a visual of it. So then I was like, I'll just steal the name. Plus, I thought it was really funny. Like, you know, who's going to call their band virgins? No one wants to be like, I'm a virgin, you're a virgin. Like, and I was like, I have a child, so I'm definitely not a virgin, so it's fine. I just thought it was hilarious. And then I tried to name a few other bands that I was in. I was like, oh, it's this great name. It's the band Virgins. And they're just like, oh, no. And I was like, well, I'm just going to go start a band then despite you people and just call it Virgins. But yeah, I think that whole film is just like it's like a shoegaze film. It has like the juxtaposition of those different elements.
I had
And
never thought about it that way, but now that you say it, like that's all I can think about. And I
yeah,
actually really think I'm going to go watch Virgin Suicides tonight. Like,
dude,
actually, yeah, I haven't seen it in years. I loved it.
it's just amazing. I watch it all the time. Like I got the soundtrack for Record Store Day
God, it's
as
amazing.
well. It's on Pink, and it's great. And but it's not the Air one. Like it's the other one. Keep meaning to get the Air one. But the idea will come whenever we come out on stage. We're gonna come out to there's a track on the Air soundtrack for it, and it has like the one of the quotes from the film. So it's like if you know what that is, then cool, and if you don't, then like maybe someone will maybe go look. But like it's just I like the the kind of 360ness of it. Just a nice wee touch. Again, it's selfish because I'm just like that's cool. I like it. I'm just really selfish at the end of the day.
I think no, I don't think you're selfish. I think you're batshit passionate like me, and the things you like and love are the things that you want to be part of your brand. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Michael.
That's cool. I like it. I think the shirt's cool. I was actually out for dinner the other night. I was wearing it because like if you can't wear your own merch, like how can anyone else?
I wear my face on myself the whole time.
Yeah, do you know? And I digress, but we're out for a walk a couple of weeks ago and bumped into this dude who like edits like a music website from here. And what am I wearing? Like my Paper Tigers t-shirt. And then I was like on this Zoom call with a photographer later on, like doing a shoot for Tigers, wearing my Paper Tigers t-shirt. I was like, I really need to get some new clothes. But I was out and someone recognized me because I was wearing the Virgins thing. They were like, oh, you're... I was like, what? Like, yeah, sure. It was weird. But the t-shirts are really cool and you'll get it super soon. And the stickers and all that jazz. And then, yeah, everyone needs to buy one so I can then go and record more Virgin
beautiful
stuff.
Incredible tracks.
Yeah,
because you're incredibly talented and I really want to see more, and I can't wait to talk to you about the third band whenever that happens. This is our second interview, Yeah,
I know. Let's do the Holy Trinity, like trilogy it out.
Why not?
This is Empire Strikes Back then. This will probably be the best interview.
Yeah.
That'll be dark. It has been kind of dark.
It has,
yeah, but so the other band, like we've just got a singer, but we've been playing for a year, so we've 16 songs. So we're good to go. Like I started demoing with them the other night, recorded 2 songs. So now it's just a case of working through things. But as soon as we're up to speed, I know where we're going to go record, all that, who we're going to get to do it, all that kind of stuff. So it's like as soon as I can get out and do it. I haven't played drums in a band like properly in a good while, so I'm excited to go do that. That's what I started on. So like I'm probably better at it than I'm at guitar, but I just can't wait to go out, and that's another thing. Yeah, it's a more expensive hobby. I keep breaking cymbals and sticks, but I actually kept breaking strings until I got a new bridge there. But I'd like every practice, because we would do Tigers into Virgins practice, and like 4 strings of practice gone, and like those are expensive. Just glad I don't play bass. It's like 30 quid a go. Don't spit your yazoo everywhere. Ruin your rig.
Yeah, it's because I'm scared of breaking my strings that I've given up the bass for 16 years.
I've started trying to learn, like, because I've been demoing so much on my own now. Like I could play a wee bit, but now I'm kind of getting deeper into it. And bass is so much fun, and that people don't realize it's like such an integral part of everything. And now whenever I go to try to write, I don't have one in the house at the minute. I really should just buy my own, but whenever I go to try to write without it, I'm just like, I get to a certain point, I'm just like, I just need the bass now. Like I need to figure out what that's going to be. Every time I talk about bass, I do this. You can't see it off camera, but I'm just, because that's what bass is, It
is. I love bass.
Wow.
Bass and drums, they're my 2 favorite things.
Yeah.
They're what lead a song. They're what drive a song. Without them, we've not.
Yeah. It's in doing the Virgin thing and being so, like, because even with Tigers, even though I'll write it all, like whenever I take it to them, they kind of tend to put their own kind of stamp on different bits and pieces. But because this is all me, like I need to make sure it's great. And like you kind of, you need to engage different parts of your brain, but also then because you're writing all the parts, then it allows you to play off things, because you're anticipating, like, I know what I'm going to do on drums here, so like the bass can do this, or like vice versa. It's interesting. Like, it's an interesting kind of like approach. But well, Johnny ended up playing. He might end up playing bass on them all. I might get in. He'll just be like, I can do a better bass line, and I will go, okay, no
Because
problem.
just go with the flow. It's like both of us, I'd say, probably started lockdown kind of a little bit overly controlling, and as lockdown progressed, we realized actually letting go of control and seeing where things go. There's
just a wee bit, like not too much.
No, yeah, like still have me reins on. Yeah.
Started to sweat there and everything. I was like, what are you talking about?
But letting things to the universe and progress without constantly being as maybe controlling as I once was. It's been great.
Yeah. Even like whenever I came to do all this as well, even like I get on promo and all and like put it all out, but it was just like it was a different approach to it, maybe like the whole laid back kind of deal and not being so like stressy about it. It just I don't know, but people really seem to respond to it and just kind of like let it take its own thing. I was on this like Facebook forum and I went on to like post about it on this Shoegaze group, and the top post was like, I've already seen this 3 times. I'm now going to go and listen to it. And the next 3 posts underneath it were all people posting the track. And like, I was like, holy shit. I was like, people are going to think that's just me making different accounts being like, go listen to the song, go listen to the song. But I was like, that's crazy. And like, so then people just started messaging me being like, we love this. And like, this is so good. And where's the vinyl? And I was like, man, just put it out like today. I don't have vinyl. And and then like I keep having to do like radio spots, like where it's like, hi, my name's Michael, I'm from Virgins, you're listening to blah, 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 blah. And like that's been weird but also fun. I just think it's all like I'm not past the point of thinking like it's really funny yet either, so like anytime I go to do it, it always sounds like I'm laughing a bit, which is probably not what they want, but I'm just like saying those words. Hi, Michael from Virgins. I go into my radio voice. Hi, I'm Michael from Virgins. But it's weird. It's weird. I just love how people have taken it and reacted to it.
It's wonderful. It's fucking...
And like Brooke has done like music stuff before, but this is like her first band, like she plays in other stuff and it's covers, and she does stuff with her husband Pete and it's covers. This is like a prop, like I don't want to say proper band, but like you know what I mean. So like she is like just loving it, and she's so talented, and I'm kind of like, why haven't you been doing this kind of thing all along? Because your voice just fits it so perfectly. And then live then of a band as well. So there's these 2 guys, they play in this band called Fagash McCann. I've talked about them before, and they're like a drum and bass thing. Not drum and bass, but they're just drums and bass, and they're like fuzzy rock. So he plays guitar. The bass, Mark, who plays bass and Fagash and sings, he plays guitar, and Connell plays drums. And then Dave, who was in Thieves with me and plays drum, or he plays bass in the heavy band, he plays bass. And so like I think having those relationships, like we all 4 of us knew each other, and then like Brooke knew me. So it meant like whenever, even if we did just have one practice, then like it was going to be okay, because Mark and Connell feed off each other, me and Dave feed off each other. And Mark came to practice this second practice, and he went and bought this new guitar. So it's like this white Strat, and at the end there's all the pedals, and we're like going like crazy. And then I look up, and he's doing, the thing where it's like you push the body one way and you push the neck the other way, and it makes it go kind of stuff, right? So he's doing that, and I look up, and then he does that, and then the strings are out a lot, and I was like, oh, he's broke a string. And then he goes, and the neck just goes, like he just cracked the neck, like separated the neck and guitar. And I was like, I play guitar pretty hard and I go nuts, but I've never broke the neck of a guitar in practice. But yeah, crazy. That's what Shoegaze does. It wrecks your guitar. It's because he's so used to playing bass and like doing it and having to put so much effort in, and he just went, whoop, yeah, gone. So then he went out and got a plaster and put it on the neck and was like, this will be fine. He actually fixed it. He used like these industrial sized bolts and just bolted it back in and played it on the show. And like, it sounds cool. It's good. Yeah, it's fine. It's all good to go. He's a badass. They're both badasses. It's like, it's such a good like vibe in the band. Like, they know it's a live thing for them and they come and they do the thing. We kind of wrote a song together. Like, I brought it in and they put their different bits on it because like I want them to feel like it's theirs too as well, you know, like as much as it's me and then Brooke kind of like, you know, like they're in the video and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's good. Like, and none of them were into this kind of stuff either before. So I have like a playlist I just send people, just like go and listen to this. And like they're kind of coming around to it because it's important. Like, everybody wants to enjoy it. And like they done double duty actually at the show the other night. They opened and then done Virgins, and then there was another band after. And yeah, they were sweaty boys. They're young though, they can take it. It's fine.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that that's the dynamic of the band. I'm so happy you're doing Shoegaze project. I like love the track. Love the merch. Really think everyone should be supporting, following it and doing it. So proud of you.
So much.
So proud of you. So I'm
keep going.
Yeah, do you know, keep going. I'm going to stop recording unless you have anything else to add to this, because I think we've given people everything they need, and we're going to go back to chatting off camera.
I would say that the video is out there. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go and watch the video. It's super cool. Again, I use somebody local for it, 492 Productions. Like, he's only really starting out as well, so he done like a wee trailer for Tigers, so like go check him out. Like, check out Fagash McCann, they're also amazing. I will have, obviously, check out Paper Tigers, we're also great. And like, I'll have more music-y stuff, and like, if anybody wants to put on shows up here or come up here or wants help, just reach out. Like, Old Cruise Promotions on Insta, Facebook. You get me at any of the band ones. Like, I do all the social media. Also, if you want to buy stuff, like, it's bandofvirgins.bandcamp.com. We're Band of Virgins on all social media, which again I think is hilarious.
I think it's
I just think it's so funny. But yeah, so like, and thank you to everybody if anyone's ever streamed it or for interviewing or done anything like that. It means so much, because if no one's paying it, I would probably still do it if no one was paying attention, but it makes it a whole bunch fucking easier to do it if there's like 3,000 people listening to it instead of the 6 people that I thought would have cared. But yeah, thank you so much to everybody. Yeah, and to you, obviously.
No need. I honestly delighted. Sure. I love it. I think it's amazing. I may have streamed it 3,000 times. That could be the...
I thought, like, I was like, at least 1,500 of these are me. The other 1,500 are probably her.
Probably Rebecca, you know. No, it's wonderful. It's a magic track, so there's no wonder that as a first release it's doing so well, and I'm genuinely super excited to see what else you do, Michael. So thanks so much for the interview.
Thanks.
I will stop recording now.
Awesome.